information.
Right, we can build from that. It's a little bit crazy, the difference in the feeling that you get when you catch a river fish compared to an impoundment fish. I mean, like, just the achievement side of it, not necessarily the way it fights or bites or anything like that, because while they're the same species of fish, it's like two completely different settings and feels to the environment that you're trying to work your way through to catch one. And I always think, like, what do I prefer? I've had different goals at different periods throughout my life, but, you know, to try and I really want to nail another big river fish, or I really want to nail a big impoundment fish, but I can't decide which out of the two is more special to me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, what's the holy grail out of it? Is it those monstrous impoundment fish,
or the wild
ones?
The wild ones in the river. I think for me at the moment, the river thing is what I want to nail. I want to nail a big one out of the river. And just that, like you say, you're getting back to the natural setting of them. Like, they're in their environment is in their purest form, so to speak, is the way that I suppose I can put it. They're living in those systems, you know, acting like cod are meant to act, and there's no human influence to that, unlike a lake as such, where, you know, it's been dammed off. They've now got a bigger body of water, different bait patterns, all that sort of thing. So the river, I just love going to a river and knowing that you're targeting them that way, as well as, like,
completely agree,
the way you fish for them as well. I just love it. Like, you're getting in them rivers, it's all tight water action, you know, a lot of it's visual as well.
The visual aspect's hard to beat, eh?
Yeah, the visual aspect's off its head. Just, you know, being able to watch them eat half the time, and all those little ways that you can target them, you know, in amongst that structure. And then at the same time, though, there is that considerable difference in size, as I'm speaking majoritively with the fish. So, you know, that lake always draws you back in being that big body of water, and you know that any bite could just be an absolute giant. They seem to just have that, obviously, higher population of them, and so, like you say, it's hard to draw that line whether you prefer a river or a lake, because I love catching huge fish, but I feel like one out of the river is going to mean more to me when I get a giant there.
Definitely,
you know,
I get that, but at the same time, like that, whenever we have a conversation like that, I'm almost convinced. I go, you know, it's the river ones. They're the big special ones, and we've caught less of them too, obviously, particularly in where we're from. But then I think about that, like, arena setting, that it feels like that you're in this massive big stadium where there are more variables that you have to try and nut out, which sounds like it makes it difficult, but at the same time, you're potentially going to get more pieces of the puzzle to work with.
And you can adapt like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know? You can adjust, whereas, man, if you get to the river and it's not happening,
you're stuck on that river.
It's tough, like, you know what I mean? But, so, you know, you get that big reward after you've persisted, whereas on the lake, you've got an opportunity when it's not happening to put something together and pull a rabbit out of your hat sort of thing, and getting that result is like, yes, I worked it out and did it, and I didn't have to rely on, you know, the endurance side of it. I relied more on the mental aspect of it.
And you don't have to rely on that river giving you the perfect conditions, otherwise you know what I mean. So in a lake, you can be, for example, in the basin, and it's not happening, and you can glue those little things together and change where you're fishing completely.
See what I'm saying?
To the river, so like the river end as such, and a different type of structure, or move offshore,
or a different bank angle, or something with a different wind direction, and like
you can find active fish in
it's
an unactive
doable,
waterway.
no matter what. And I mean, it's persistence is something that, particularly as cod fishermen, we can always rely on, and we know that if we hit the river and we keep going, eventually we're going to get bit. And, you know, fingers crossed it's the type of fish that we're looking for, size-wise. But at the same time, which, you know, is a special thing, but at the same time, there's nothing better than, you know, putting it together. You know what I'm saying? And just that thing, that feeling of getting up, driving the boat, getting to the spot, and it's so hard. Like, it's almost incomparable. Like, you can't say what would you prefer, one or the other, but I feel like I want to know.
And then the other thing, like, you fish a lake all day and you catch a 60. It's like, oh, thank God we got a 60. Whereas you fish the river and you sort of get that feeling, although they're not easier, like the bigger ones are tougher in the river, it seems, to find for a start.
Sure.
But you catch a lot more smaller ones, so you don't get that reward feeling as much when you catch those smaller ones out of the river as you do to the dam. But at the same time, the dam giant probably isn't going to feel the same as when you catch a river giant.
So it's almost
like
two completely different values. Like, you know what I mean? You can't really draw a comparison between the two to say, particularly preference-wise. I mean, and it comes down to where you're from, I suppose, too. I'm sure those dudes down in the Murray, I mean, stuff like that grow just giant fish. And
they're more open water setting too, and they can target them in boats and that sort of thing. Whereas ours are chalk and cheese, you know, like you got
a river that you can jump across for the most part.
And that's all of our rivers really. They're all very like small hole, you know, rapids and that sort of thing.
Not many that you can't cast across.
You can cast across them, and it's typical the same structure throughout the whole system as such. Whereas, you know, like those bigger river systems down south that you can put a boat on, and you got that. You know, I suppose the more options there too, because you can quickly start the outboard and fang 10k's down the river, I guess. But it's a funny one, eh?
I think the other thing is like dissecting new water is tough too, because like, you know, you go to a lake and it's eventually you're going to work out where the high percentage area is.
Yeah,
if you
100%.
pick any lake on a map, whereas if you pick any stretch of river on a map, you might be walking for a long time before you come across something special. And it's just one of those funny things. Well, it's another one of those things that make cod fishing so special and different. I mean, I know there's plenty of species of fish that you can catch in a river and
it's got that argument the same, you know, like there are a lot of species, and you get guys that are passionate about one or the other, like for example bass, where they're just like, you know, oh, your damn fish suck, and then we're the river guys,
and obviously barra as well. But it's something that I've always kind of like thought what's more special. I know that I haven't caught as many big ones out of the river, obviously. So, you know, I always like, you know, you dream of those a little bit more. But at the same
almost
time,
feels like the giants are untouchable there sometimes. Like, for example, like a 4-footer out of one of our local rivers feels like it is just an untouchable goal. Like, we know it's achievable and that's what we want to catch, but it just feels so out of reach at times, you know, whereas you go to the lake and you're like, well, you know, I could probably get it, you know, like I could probably make it happen if everything aligns and we get it right. There's a good chance that it's going to be one that size, but I think you're right about that stadium feel too.
That's probably the best way to describe it. Is that
it's like you're a player in the arena.
Exactly. It's like, I'm sure it'd be the same as someone running onto a footy field. That's how it feels for me. Like you're out there. It's time to make it happen in that moment, and it's almost impossible to draw a comparison to. But I will say that, like, out of all of the big fish that we've caught between us, those experiences on the river
stand out.
They just are always at the top. Like,
and not even always. Like, obviously our biggest fish has come out of the lake, both of our biggest fish, whereas there's some big fish in the river that you'd almost take again before catching that
exactly one. Man, exactly. And that's that thing where, you know, for me, if I had to pick, this is probably the answer to the question really, if I had to decide between catching a 101 out of the river and a 115 out of the dam, I'd probably take the 101 out of the river.
Yeah, same. Righto, you've got to choose one rest of your life. You either fish the lake or you fish the river. You can't fish both.
Oh, see, now that makes it complicated.
What one is it?
I can't even do. I'd have to nearly go rest of my life.
Rest of your life. Someone says right now you can fish for cod the rest of your life.
Any river or any dam?
Yeah, you can only fish rivers or you can only fish lakes. What one's it going to be?
I'd have to go river.
I'm going river.
I'd have to go river.
Every day of the week, I reckon.
That's a hectic question. I feel like I'll probably change my mind in a little while, but I'd have to go river just for the wild ones, man. Just for
You spend the rest of your life with higher average sizes, or you down your size and just have a sick time every trip.
the special one, yeah.
I don't know.
That's nuts.
Imagine something like you got that pitch to you. I'd have to go the river, I reckon. If I had to draw a line, I'm going the river.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. River.
River, yeah.
That's crazy. But they're a special fish regardless. I just know that I always think about that, particularly when we're trying to decide, where's the next trip and where we're heading and stuff. And we're so goal orientated. We're always trying to decide, right, what's the next thing we want to tick off a list. And obviously where we're headed is going to depict what goals are up for grabs that trip.
Yeah.
And you head to the dam or you head to the river, it's obviously a big part of the decisions. And I'm always torn between it, but I feel like now that you've put me under the pressure, we've probably got it nutted out.
I know my goal is giant out of the river.
Giant out of the river, that's the next 100%. Big one for you.
Yeah, proper one out of the river. So that's where it's all right, mate. If someone gave me the options, I'm spending my life walking rivers.
Yeah, that's crazy.